Hey everybody, and welcome to a recorded game I played on PlayTCG not so long ago against a guy called Heart Gold Soul Silver Prime. I'll put his YouTube channel in the description below, and he's also put a commentated version of this game up as well. I'm playing the Darkrai deck and I'll be on the top screen, and he's playing Klinklang with various EX text on the bottom of the screen. As you can see, it's from his side because I completely forgot to screen capture this, and it turned out to be a really close game. So he flips, goes first, and I start with a Smeargle. He starts with a Groudon. So before this, I didn't know what he was playing, and as soon as I saw the Groudon, I was like, yay! Well, obviously not really. I wasn't looking forward to the Groudon. Then he puts down a Klink, and that's even worse, because I know a Groudon with a ridiculous amount of max potions and healing and energy moving and free retreat is not good against my deck. Is really good against my deck and not good for my deck. So he searches out two Klinks and goes for an end straight away. His hand that he ends himself into isn't the best, but he does have the heavy ball to set out the stage 1. He's already attached the rainbow to his Groudon, and that's pretty much all you can do with a Klinklang deck on the turn 1, apart from Portrait possibly. But he hasn't got the Darkrai, hasn't got access to the Darkrai to retreat his Groudon for free, and that's pretty much where it will stay for now. So he just benches that Smeargle just in case of, just so he's got it on the field basically, and passes on to my turn. So I draw. I don't think my hand is the greatest after that N, so I play Dual Ball to grab myself some basics, flip one heads to grab myself the Darkrai that I need to get going to attach energy to it as soon as possible. I do have the Eviolite in hand, which is great against Groudon when I'm sitting on the bench at the moment, since I don't take Tromp damage. Catch up is Klink, because I know energy is very precious in this Klinklang deck when you haven't got your Klinklang on the field. And then I go ahead and Portrait and see his hand is actually really not that good. So I actually have an N in my own hand, and what I do is just pass, because I don't want to N out his bad hand while I have the potential to end the next turn, because I didn't have anything else I could really do. But of course he top decks a random receiver, and that's pretty much wasted. First, he uses the Heavy Ball to grab the Klang to evolve into Klinklang as soon as possible next turn, and gets a Juniper, so that's a great card to draw. The only thing is, when he played the Juniper, and I saw those 2 max potions go to the discard pile, I knew that was what I had to play off. I knew he was going to have 2 less max potions he could play. There were possibly only 2 more in the deck, along with a load of junk arms that he'd have to use on max potions to stay on top, so I had to keep that for the rest of the game. So he gets his Darkrai, he plays a Prism Energy onto the Klink, and decides to use Portrait, and he will find my N there, which probably confused him a little bit, but because of his hand I really didn't want to play it at the time and save it for later on when things could get quite nasty if I got quite far behind. Attaching the Prism Energy to the Klink is not the best, because if he has to evolve that one into a Klinklang via Rare Candy, he won't be able to move the Prism Energy, because as soon as he Rare Candies into Klinklang, that Prism Energy becomes a colourless. So other than that, he just has to Portrait an N. He gets double colourless, no sorry, double colours, I don't even know what I'm on about. An Eviolite onto his Groudon, which is going to be even more annoying. So Klinklang, Groudon and Eviolite is just going to be such a pain. I use Ultra Ball to grab myself another Darkrai. Capture up his, I'm assuming I'll go for the Klang. Yeah, I'll go for the Klang, because again, the energy is needing to be conserved at the minute, and if he's only got a Prism in his hand, that'll waste one of his energies he can move for later on, even though he can free retreat with the Darkrai. So I play a Pont, which obviously I top decked, and get another Eviolite, so that's great. I'm not going to be taking Tromp damage unless he uses the catcher. I have 2 energy on the field at the moment, and unfortunately he did have no supporters in his hand, so I couldn't really do anything. I've got nothing to Portrait, my hand is not the best, I've already played my supporter, and I'm starting to get quite worried now. He's going to Junk Arm for his Heavy Ball and get a Klinklang into play, which is the start of my demise, I thought, along with the catcher as well, and that means he's going to start getting heavy damage on my Darkrai and start spreading to the Smeargle. Attaches a Rainbow to his Darkrai to save some damage for later on, well, to save some damage so he doesn't have a weaker Groudon on the field. And that last card, to my knowledge, when I was playing this I didn't see that N because he top decked it, is obviously a mystery to me at the moment. So he moves his energy to Klinklang to give it free retreat with Darkrai's Dark Cloak into the Groudon, and he's going to use Giant Claw for 160 damage, which is going to go down to 140 because of Eviolite, but still a solid 2-hit KO if I don't have any healing cards available at the moment. So he decides not to play the N. I'm not sure why. Has he already played a supporter maybe? But anyway, onto my turn, and I'm getting worried. I'm not set up at all. I do have a Pont to play, so I play that and see what I can draw. So I get the energy. I retreat my damaged Darkrai into my fresh Darkrai because I need a way to get out of this, because I can't leave it there and give up the 2 prizes. I do have a Shaman, so I put that down, move the energy, and use Max Potion on my other Darkrai. So his turn has been completely reset. It doesn't matter, and I'm basically on the attacking now. If I can get a 2-hit KO on this, then I'm definitely in a great standing for the rest of the game. I put 30 on his Klink because I want to get as many prizes as possible without him using Max Potion, and kind of force him to use Max Potions on something else, because he's had to discard 2 at the beginning of the game, so he's going to have to use them quite wisely. So he plays the Pont instead of the N, saving the N for later on. He's top decking quite well, I must add, and attaches a Rainbow to his Darkrai, and then just goes ahead and uses Giant Claw again. So I get a Juniper. Not sure what I discarded, to be honest. Hopefully some energy so I can Dark Patch later on. And I've got another heavily damaged Darkrai up front, so I'm going to have to find a way to get this out. I play Super Scoop Up, hit a Heads, which is always nice, and pick up the Shaman. So I was debating picking up the Darkrai, but because I won't be able to power up in one turn, then there was no point. So I retreat the Darkrai, play down a Mewtwo, which is quite risky. I know his hand, I wasn't actually sure whether he played Mewtwo, and I just need to get the KO on this Groudon because it'll put all his energy in the discard pile. He'll have to have an energy and a way to get his Mewtwo in hand to KO my Mewtwo. So I move all my energy with Shaman that I just picked up and X-Ball for 2 prizes. So that puts me ahead. Unfortunately, he has an N in his hand to knock me down to 4 cards, but it's not too much of an issue. So he gets to use Portrait after moving an energy across, and okay, sorry, completely missed that. He actually got his Mewtwo off that N, which is incredibly lucky, and manages to move the energy to his Smeargle to retreat with Dark Cloak, and then use X-Ball for a KO on my Mewtwo. So here I'm thinking, crap, we are league calling prizes, but now I have just the 1 energy on the field, and he's got a fully powered up Groudon at his disposal later on because he can move the energy around with Klinklang. So I bring up Smeargle because my hand, I'm not sure what my hand's like, and Portrait. So luckily he finally has a supporter, 3rd time lucky, and I get to shuffle in my hand and get a fresh 6, which I desperately need right now. So the best bit about my X-Ball was that I got 3 energy off the field straight away. And he's only got 2 energy on the field, so he can't do much of that unless he's obviously got the energy in hand, but I'll be able to get some damage on the field before he's allowed to move it. But I do know he doesn't have any healing cards in hand, which makes this situation a lot better than it looks. So I get Dark Patch, moving energy onto my Darkrai, Super Scoop Up, get a Tails, go for another Super Scoop Up, I believe. Okay, random receiver first because I was deciding what to do with my hand. I think I had a Dual Ball and a Super Scoop Up. I wasn't sure what to hit. If I hit a Shuffle Draw, I probably would have just used Dual Ball to Super Scoop Up later on. But because I hit a Juniper, I'm going to have to play the Super Scoop Up. I get Tails, which kind of makes up for my lucky heads earlier. But I get a Dual Ball, get 2 heads, and manage to grab a Smeargle because I'm going to play Juniper. I want to get it out of my deck. And a Shaman, which I desperately need is get an energy and an attack off this turn. So I play the Juniper, I get 7 fresh cards, which is amazing at the moment, and see what I can do. Just prepare for the next turn, prepare for the next attacker that's going to come up, which you can almost guarantee will be Groudon. So I'm just thinking about my move a bit here, and go for a Junk Arm. go for a junk arm for a max potion because that heavily damaged Darkrai is on the bench. Go for a catcher on the Smeargle to get another double knockout, which is absolutely crucial because now I only have to get another KO on an EX or some kind of freaky sniping prize to win this game, which is amazing against Klinklang. Klinklang is usually all about prize denial, moving energy and max potioning stuff, but because he had to max potion stuff early, discard those max potions with Juniper earlier, it's been really tricky for him to get some prizes, or him to deny me of prizes, which is the most important part of his deck. So he goes ahead, uses Pon, doesn't get a great hand because there's no max potions or anything, no way to get them with Junk Arm, and just uses Giant Claw again, threatening the 2-hit KO. So at the moment, I've managed to avoid the 2-hit KOs at the moment. The only KO he's been able to take was a revenge on my Mewtwo. I attached an energy to my bench Darkrai and used another Pon. So I haven't got many ways out of this Darkrai being KO'd, so it's just going to be good to get 90 damage straight onto this Groudon. It has got Eviolite, which is kind of annoying because it turns it into a 3-hit KO. But I will be able to get some spread damage down there as well, because that Darkrai is very tempting at the moment with 2 damage counters on it already. So I go Junk Arm, I hit the Super Scoop Up yet again, which is crucial, really, really crucial. Pick up that Shaymin, put down a Darkrai over Dark Claw, and Shaymin all my energy across from after I retreat my damaged Darkrai. Now that Dark Claw drop was incredibly crucial as well. It pretty much cancels out his Eviolite, and if he doesn't heal that Groudon or get it out of the active spot or something next turn, then he's lost basically, unless he retreats it, which can be okay, but his attackers aren't the best on the bench at the moment. The Mewtwo's not too effective. If I have a catcher, I'll win. But anyway, he goes ahead and Ponce. He needs the max potion here, which he does hit with through the use of a Junk Arm. So he's able to move the energy off, max potion the Groudon, and just move the energy back, which is how Klinklang works. Incredibly annoying deck, but at least you get to see it in full motion here. And yeah, I think that's all that's going to happen in this. He's probably going to catcher the bench Darkrai, just so he can get the 2 prizes and put me under incredible pressure. So here comes the catcher. Oh, he debates playing it first, which is quite interesting. Okay, he's just used Giant Claw, so he's got 2 available prizes. Those are his 4 prizes that he's able to get now. So I have a random receiver in my hand and hit a Juniper, which is awesome. I can get rid of this 1-card hand now, well, now 2-card hand, and try and get back into this game somehow. I think all my healing cards have pretty much been used by now, and it's just going to have to be careful. Okay, I say that, but I use Max Potion to get rid of the one on the bench. Bench is damaged because it has no energy on it anyway. Use Dark Patch, and well, use 2 Dark Patches, sorry, and attach my energy for the turn onto my Darkrai. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up. It's a bit laggy on the recording, but I go ahead and assume I'm going to get KOs next turn. I don't want to waste that fresh Darkrai I've got on the bench and just do 110 minus the 20 for Eviolite to his Groudon. Annoyingly, he does get another Junk Arm, another top deck, but I'm not complaining. I've had pretty good luck as well. So he Junk Arms the Max Potion, moves the energy, and does the trick all over again. Plays an N, which brings him to 4 cards and me down to a very, very risky 2. I don't think there's that many cards in my deck actually. There's not many in his at all. I think I had 3 cards left in my deck at the end of this game, but knowing I had something in there really did help. So he debates where to put the Rainbow Energy, puts on his Klinklang because to save the 1 damage, he wants to control where the damage goes. Powers up a fresh Darkrai, and then goes into the KO that is obvious to take, and what I really expected him to take, basically. So now that second Max Potion on that Groudon has really set me back another turn, and I'm going to struggle to take these last 2 prizes here, especially because I've already used my Mewtwo. And what's even more scary is he's got 5 energy on the field and a Mewtwo of his own ready to attack at any time he likes. So this turn all depends on what's in my hand, obviously. And at the moment, I think I've given up on going for the Groudon and really want to get that Darkrai. He's used a lot of Junk Arms and a lot of Max Potions already. I think he'd used 4 Junk Arms and 3 Max Potions, or the other way around, and he really needed there's only a possibility of being one left. So I catch up the Darkrai, which brings 90 plus the 80 on it, which makes 170, and then I can, if he does not heal this turn, then he's lost. So he benches the Kyurem, plays the Pont for the crucial max potion, and completely whiffs. He's only got one left in his deck. He has 11 cards, had 11 cards left in his deck, I think, and completely whiffs. So that is pretty much the game. I've managed to seal it so that I can snipe with Darkrai for 30 damage. He can't take a KO in one turn, and yeah, that is the game all sealed up. So overall, Klinklang is a very, very good deck. It got set up turn 3 and just takes advantage of massive HP EXs. With Eviolite means you have to do 200 damage in one attack to take any prizes against it, and do that consistently throughout the game. The key in my matchup was the healing. The healing definitely helped against the Groudon. The Groudon was a pain, and having multiple Shamans definitely helped as well. So overall, a very, very good game. I'll put a link to his commentated version of the game in the description below. I will be bringing you more of these PlayTCG matches because I've been playing on there a lot more, testing for nationals and stuff, because Pokemon, well, PTCGO is down still. So yeah, comment what you thought of the video below. If you liked this PlayTCG game, then please click the like button too, and I'll see you next time.